Have you ever felt pressure to structure your day the same way as someone else? Maybe you've heard contradicting productivity information that confused you. For example, it seems like everyone talks about being a morning person, but there's also a lot of information about being a night owl that contradicts it. Or maybe you've tried a productivity system only to get discouraged. But regardless of your past challenges with being productive, my goal is to give you a simple strategy for creating an ideal day that works for you. Because once you know how to structure your day correctly, you'll have good, productive, and fulfilling days more often. But before I get started, can you please do me a huge favor and like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications to see more videos like it. Because it's amazing people like you watching these videos and receiving value from them that motivates me to create them. Years ago, when I started my first business, I struggled with how to structure my days. Over the years, I've tried many different productivity methods. I've used daily planners, productivity apps, read books, and tried many different systems to increase my productivity. While many of these methods were helpful, I always struggled to get them to work for me. Of course, that doesn't mean they don't work. They just weren't the right fit for me. And based on my conversations and observations of others, it seems like most people struggle with this. Over the years, I've identified 5 core components that must fit into your day to lead a productive and happy life. And I learned how to use them in what I call the ideal day framework, so I have good days more often. So in this video, I want to share the 5 core components that you can use to structure your day and make your life better. So let's dig in. First, you may wonder, what do you mean by ideal day framework? So let's talk about that first. Everyone must do 5 things on a regular basis to stay productive, be happy, and feel fulfilled. For example, if all you did was work and you never saw family, friends, and people you love, then you would most likely become very unhappy or even depressed. All of your hard work would be pointless without relationships, right? There have been many times in my life when I neglected the ones I loved to work more, and it was some of the saddest and most depressing times of my life. I can't get that time back, but I can do things differently in the future. You have to make time for your relationships, or you may not have them anymore, or they will greatly suffer and your life will get out of balance. I think it was Dave Ramsey who said, if you don't take time to change the oil in your car, you'll have to make time to change the engine. And life works the same way. For example, if you don't make time for your spouse, then you may end up having to make time to get divorced. It's the unfortunate truth. I know this may sound depressing for a productivity video, but it's just how this stuff works, right? But when you create a framework for your ideal day, you can use it to divide up your time wisely and intentionally so you have time for everything in your life that's important to you. Your ideal day framework will become a systematic way to structure your day. If you want to follow along, get out a piece of paper and write "My Ideal Day Framework" at the top of it. Below that, put the 5 core components of my day. And below that, we'll list the 5 core components that you will make time for in your ideal day. Once you list the 5 core components on your paper, I'll reveal the best way to structure your day based on your life and schedule. So with that, here are the 5 components that almost everyone needs to have a happy and fulfilling life. The first one I call self-care, because if you don't take care of yourself, then you will be forced to if you have a life-threatening disease that comes up as a result. If you think back to the oil change example, if you don't take care of your body, you'll have to when it shuts down from not taking care of it. And it doesn't matter if you have a balanced life if you're dead. I know this may sound harsh, but I've personally lived this reality when I stressed out as a young adult, got a major disease, and almost died from it. So I can tell you firsthand that without health, your wealth, success, and everything that you hold dear in life has very little meaning. This is why I believe taking care of yourself should be a core component of everyone's ideal day. And when I say self-care, I mean stuff like exercising, eating healthy, maintaining your mental stability, and really anything that involves taking care of yourself. The second core component that almost everyone needs to fit into their daily life is work, or something that provides them with their financial stability. Of course, this is not the case if you have retired or if you have enough money invested to support yourself for the rest of your life. But for everyone else, it must be a core component of their ideal day. And of course, this takes up the majority of your day during the work days. I could go into a lot more detail on how to structure your work blocks of time to be more productive, but I want to revisit this in another video instead. The third core component is to rest and recharge your batteries, so to speak. Because without rest and getting refreshed, you will burn out. I know many people talk about hustling or working harder to be more successful, but many studies have proven that results diminish as you work longer hours. I wish it wasn't true, but I have tested this myself many times. A few summers ago, I slipped and fell down the stairs at my home on the way to work. I dislocated my foot and ended up in a cast. I wasn't able to do the recreational things that help me rest and recharge, like bicycling or kite surfing. I was really upset about this and decided I was going to work more hours to keep myself busy and kind of distract myself during the summer. I ended up getting really depressed and even burning myself out. By the end of the summer, I was really discouraged by working too much. Of course, that wasn't the only time I've done that, but it was a good reminder that more work doesn't equal more results. Sometimes it's actually the opposite. So for me personally, I would rather focus on being productive, not just busy. As a result, I plan my rest and recharge time and try to make it as important as my work blocks. Because if I'm not rested, I won't be nearly as productive when I'm at work. I'd rather work smarter than just focusing on being busy or working harder or more hours. Of course, I believe in hard work. I don't believe anyone will be successful without it. But we are all humans, not robots, and we have to rest and take care of ourselves to be productive when we do go to work. The fourth core component of an ideal day is relationships. Many studies have proven that people who have good relationships with other people are the happiest. In the past, when I tried to work more hours to increase my success and therefore spent less time with the people I loved, I quickly lost my sense of purpose with life and with my family, and I got depressed. At the time, it was hard for me to admit it because I was so focused on work. But now that I look back, I can see that some of my most unhappy times were the times that I withdrew from people I love to work more hours. And I did a lot of research on happiness and life in general. The Happy documentary and the books were one of the things that really helped me change my perspectives and goals in life. And I highly recommend making relationships a priority and putting it on your ideal day framework. Relationships are what make life worth living, at least in my opinion. So don't take them for granted. The fifth core component is personal growth and development. When you grow as a person, you feel better about yourself. Plus, your life improves, so it's a double win. I can attribute a lot of my success to books that I have read, courses that I've been through, and from things that I've learned outside of school. Albert Einstein said, "Once you stop learning, you start dying." But I personally like the quote that says, "If you're not learning, you're not living." And I wholeheartedly agree with that. So now that you have your 5 core components, you can use them to create your ideal day. When I know what I want to fit into my ideal day, I'm able to structure it in whatever way makes the most sense to me and my schedule. For example, I like to do my self-care time block the first thing in the morning between 6 and 8 a.m. If I can, I like to listen to an audiobook that helps me grow as a person while I exercise or while I have breakfast and coffee after my workout. Then I go to work between 8 and 9 and normally come home between 6 and 7, and I spend the rest of my evening resting, recharging, and spending time on my relationship with my wife. So this is just an example of how you can lay out your ideal day once you know what to put in it. I like to plan my week as much in advance as I can, and if I get out of balance one day, I do the best I can to make up for it another day or over the weekend. For example, I spend most of my relationship time block with my wife during the work week, but I like to make a lot more time available for friends and other family members on the weekends. I've learned that as things in life change, you have to move the core components around to make it work for the stage of life you're in. In the past, I used to get discouraged when I would fall off track from the productivity system I was using. But now when I lay my day out like this, I can change it around to meet the stage of life that I'm in right then and there. I know that things happen and life changes, but if I can make time for the 5 core components, I will have a pretty good life. So I hope that was helpful. If you want a cheat sheet to help you create your own ideal day framework, then go to smartagents.com/productivity to get more tips, a template, some outlines, and some stuff to help you be more productive. Also, I'm planning on releasing more productivity videos in the future. So please like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications to see more videos like this. And if you have any questions or comments about this topic, please post them below. I'd love to hear from you. I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Thanks for watching.